Sun in the 10th house, identity and legacy. Welcome to Sun in the 10th house in synastry. In this overlay, we explore what happens when one person's sun, their core identity, vitality, sense of self, and life force, falls into another person's 10th house, the house of career, public reputation, social standing, long-term ambition, and the particular form of identity that is constructed for the world rather than for the self. Where the 9th house governs the self in its most expansive philosophical mode, the 10th house governs the self as it wishes to be seen by history. It is the territory of achievement and legacy, of the role one plays in public life, of the reputation one builds, or fails to build, over the course of a lifetime. When someone's sun lands here, it does not operate in the private or the intimate. It operates in the visible, and visibility in the 10th house is both the prize and the pressure. The sun person brings their identity, their energy, and their essential presence directly into the space where the house person constructs and manages their public self. They arrive, in effect, into the house person's professional and reputational life, into the ambitions, the achievements, the public-facing persona, and the ongoing project of building something that endures beyond the personal. This is one of the more structurally significant overlays in synastry, and it operates differently depending on whether the connection is romantic, professional, or some combination of the two. From the house person's perspective, the sun person may feel like someone who enhances their public standing, who, by association, elevates or affirms their sense of what they are capable of achieving. There is often a quality in this connection of being seen more clearly in one's professional capacity, of having ambitions taken seriously, of finding in the sun person a presence that reflects back the most capable and publicly oriented version of the house person. This can be profoundly motivating. The house person may also find that the sun person's presence activates their ambition in ways that feel somewhat independent of the relationship itself, that being around this person makes them want to work harder, aim higher, and take their public role more seriously. The sun's energy, falling in the 10th house, tends to illuminate the gap between where the house person currently is and where they sense they could be. And that illumination, however uncomfortable, is frequently generative. From the sun person's perspective, there is often a sense of being genuinely respected in this connection. The 10th house is the house of authority and recognition, and the house person tends to regard the sun person with a quality of regard that carries a social and professional dimension. A sense that the sun person is someone worth being associated with, someone whose identity carries weight in the world. For the sun, which is oriented toward recognition and meaningful expression, this quality of regard tends to feel both validating and energizing. The risk in this overlay is one of function over feeling. The 10th house is not an intimate house, it is a public one, and the dynamics it governs are more legible in terms of role and status than in terms of emotional connection. The sun person may find, over time, that the house person relates to them primarily through the lens of what they represent, their achievement, their status, their public identity, rather than through genuine knowledge of who they are beneath those external markers. To be valued for one's public self, rather than one's private self, is a particular kind of loneliness, and it is one that sun in 10th connections can produce. The house person, in parallel, may find that their relationship with the sun person becomes uncomfortably entangled with their professional identity and public reputation. How the sun person is perceived by others may begin to feel like a direct reflection on the house person, their choices, their taste, their standing. This is a form of objectification that is easy to overlook in connections that feel otherwise respectful and admiring, but it is worth naming. Authority dynamics tend to be a recurring feature of this overlay. The 10th house is associated with the authority figures of one's life, parents, bosses, mentors, the state, and the sun person falling here may unconsciously take on some quality of that dynamic for the house person. The house person may find themselves deferring to the sun person's judgment in ways that are not always warranted, or may find themselves in unconscious competition with them, seeking to match or exceed the Sun person's level of achievement in order to feel adequate in the relationship. Mutual professional support, when it is genuine and boundaried, can be one of this overlay's most durable qualities. Two people who take each other's work seriously, who advocate for each other in professional contexts, and who understand the particular demands of ambition and public life constitute a powerful and sustaining alliance. The Sun person's energy in the House person's 10th house can function as a real and concrete form of support for the House person's career trajectory, if the dynamic is handled with honesty about what it is. At its highest expression, this overlay produces a relationship in which both people are more capable and more confident in their public lives because of the connection. The Sun person finds a context in which their identity is recognized and respected in its most socially legible form. The House person finds a presence that validates their ambition, clarifies their direction, and makes the sustained effort of building a meaningful public legacy feel less solitary. When this works well, there is a quality of genuine mutual respect at the center of the connection. Not just affection, but the particular respect that comes from taking another person's work and purpose seriously, and being taken seriously in return. At its core, Sun in the 10th house in synastry is about what we are building in the world, and what it means to be seen, not just as a person, but as someone whose presence in the world genuinely matters. This was Sun in the 10th house in synastry overlays. Thank you for listening. Next, Sun in the 11th house.